Warning, this video contains spoilers of Battle for Rio 1 and 2.
This is a short video about the production of the Battle for Rio game for Streets of Rage Maker.
The idea of making a Streets of Rage with Rio as the background was inspired by another game, Way of the Warrior, designed by the Nomad in 2011. In Way of the Warrior, Axel and team travel from the US to Japan, chasing the villain Mr. X. Way of the Warrior and Battle for Rio were both made by natives, a reason for which the games are often compared. Way of the Warrior being made by someone from Japan, possibly from Tokyo, and Battle for Rio by Onyx from Rio de Janeiro.
The project started with the internal name of Knights of Rio, and with this start screen. But what was the thing with Batman?
Onyx wanted to explore the protests from the V for Vinegar movement that happened in 2013 in Rio. During those protests, there would always be this guy. His name is Iran Mello. He became known as the Batman of Rio and was arrested multiple times for simply refusing to remove his mask.
Onyx considered having Iran as a non-player character of the game. Eventually he gave up the idea, but the protests still served as inspiration for the second stage. The V for Vinegar movement was a non-violent movement, peaceful until it was infiltrated by vandals. At that time, the protesters were chanting, come to the streets.
Vem pra rua, vem.
He wanted it to be like one of those long scenes you see in action movies, so they end up chasing the red truck and fighting on top of it.
For the first scenes of the mod, Onyx wanted the same tension and adrenaline that could be felt when going through the first scenes of the third Streets of Rage. After the scene was complete, Onyx thought, this is war. This is a battle for the city. The word battle came up, and the new start screen was made. Other scenes of the game are also inspired by actual events, like the 2010's occupation of the Germans complex, a giant slum from Rio. The major operation happened as response to attacks against the police. In the second part of the game, Rio's Special Police Operations Battalion joins the fight against the Syndicate, and the balance of power starts to shift. Both units have extensive experience in urban warfare, as well as progression in confined and restricted environments. They are more powerful equipped than traditional civilian law enforcement, and use the armored vehicle known as Big Skull. Black helicopter is known as Rio 2. black surveillance drones. And in Battle for Rio 2, they also have combat drones.
One of the best in the game, skill level rise.
But many things were still missing. Like for example, having not just the dark side of the city, but the beautiful and happy side of Rio. Things like the beaches and the city's agitated nightlife with clubs and pubs.
Onyx started working in a street inspired by the Copacabana nightlife, with the boy and girl clubs. Both clubs are in the same block with a bar in between, the La Boy Bar, which in Battle for Rio is called Copacabana Bar.
The base art layers came from two sprites artists known as Charco and Iceweb. Then the option for entering those clubs was added.
Onyx wanted it to look like a real-world experience, so you hear different songs, and later you go back outside, and visit some unexplored street. Almost at the same time the Copacabana beach stage started to be designed. Onyx wanted it to look like a really sunny day,
with actual ambient sound from the Copacabana beach.
At the beginning, it pokes fun at the city's security problems with a burglar trying to steal the undercover cops. He says, "Give me your cell phone, bro." For their amazement, a capoeira part was added.
Capoeira.
and later a night version was also made.
Almost forgot, the Funk Party. Battle for Rio also makes parody and references to films like The Matrix and Ghost in the Shell.
Fight to protect it. Were you listening to called The Matrix? You've been living in a dream world, Neo.
The sequel finally makes a tribute to the Batman, which Ian Mello, the Batman from Rio, would probably approve it.
Se quero matar o Batman, acho que não. Prefiro acabar com o seu psicológico.
Some other references are more difficult to get. Like the boxer Miguel, who appears twice in the game. He is inspired by the former Brazilian boxer Adilson Rodrigues.
Driver, mama says that I never mind her. And over rains,
For its next game, Onyx wants to explore futuristic and cyberpunk scenes. Will Rio de Janeiro be one of the game cities?